Muscle milk for the muscle mommies. Hello everyone, welcome to a new music video again. It's not Friday. The weekend has passed. I had a pretty busy weekend. If you're into college football, I was at the University of Hawaii versus Stanford game. Very stressful game, but a really fun game overall. I don't know if you watched it. There should be a replay on there on YouTube somewhere, or highlights, you know. I don't know if I got on TV. If you want to watch through the whole 2+ hour footage of the game, be my guest and try to find me. But, yeah. I had that and a bunch of other stuff that we don't need to get into today. But today, we are going to be looking at a band that I have definitely known, I definitely know of, but showing my casualness again, I've never listened to a full album from them fully. No, it's not the Beach Boys. I already recorded that. I don't know which album comes out first, but hey, we are going to be looking at an album by the lovely Deftones, Private Music. Yeah, Deftones still doing it all these years later. What, their first album? What is their first album, actually? Apparently Adrenaline. All the way back in 30 years ago-ish, pretty much. Of course, everyone seems to know them from either something like White Pony or Around the Fur, you know. Very interesting cover aside. There are a couple of tracks I definitely know, but the biggest one will probably be the one you are probably familiar with, the My Own Summer, Shove It. That's probably the biggest song or the most consistent song that pops up when you mention the band Deftones. Yeah, that's the song that I know of the most. Yeah, I guess we can do that. Ooh. Shove it, shove it, shove it, shove it, shove it, shove it, shove it aside. The God is moving. How's he do it? No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I am not even gonna try to attempt it because I have a pretty busy week. And no, I don't know. I don't know how to do it, okay? I'm not a trained professional. That is the most prominent Deftones song, probably. I lied. The most popular song is actually Change in the House of Flies. In the House of Flies. Second biggest song, you know. Well, good for you guys. Okay, besides, we're not looking at Around the Fur. We're not looking at White Pony, even though that's like 20 years old soon. Or it has been, I don't know. We are going to be looking at their latest, brand new album, straight off the presses. Private Music. I guess if it's anything like My Own Summer, I guess we're in for a treat. I don't know what to expect. I'm expecting some, I guess, hardcore music. Actually, I think I've actually heard one of the singles, My Mind Is a Mountain. I'm pretty sure I've had it saved somewhere. God, I already lost my voice. What the fuck is my rock playlist? Jesus Christ. There we go. My Mind Is a Mountain. I have saved it because I listened to it when it came out and I thought it was pretty good. And I can't wait to see what the rest of the album has in store for us, I guess. Don't know what else to say about Deftones. You know, they've been a pretty prominent rockin' band. They made some pretty popular music, and finally gonna be able to tap in, which I'm very excited for. Look at that lovely green background, that white snake. It's a very intimidating album cover. That's it. It's just a snake and a green background. Yeah, go green, go white. I guess for formality's sake, I don't know if I need to introduce you guys to the Deftones. I sure definitely need to introduce myself to Deftones because I am a casual. Formed in Sacramento, California in 1988, the multi-platinum, Grammy Award-winning Deftones are an influential alternative presence with over 10 million records sold worldwide. Whoops. The band, comprised of Chinomoreno, Frank Delgado, and Stephen Carpenter, And Abe Cunningham has released 9 studio albums, with the most recent one released being Grammy nominated, Ohms, in 2020. Some people consider it new metal, some people consider it alt metal. Okay, they are a metal band. Sorry, they aren't rocking, they're getting heavy. And since we're here, let's get some of that album lore out of the way. Private Music is the 10th studio album by Deftones, released on August 22nd, 2025. The album was announced with the release of the first single, My Mind is a Mountain, in July 2025. Deftones first spoke publicly about the album in April 2024 during a backstage interview at Coachella with radio station KROQ, with chinomoreno saying, "Basically where we're sitting right now is we have a whole record recorded all musically, and it's pretty much my job right now to finish up the vocals. And I have, obviously, this show again next week. And then straight after that, I go back home to Oregon." He's an Oregon boy? Sheesh. Or well, either he lives now in Oregon or he was an Oregon boy. Okay, that's interesting. So as long as that takes, I hate to put a definite kind of time frame, because we're not really in a rush. We want it to be great. I think that's most important, true. But it is coming, and yeah, it's really good. We're really excited with what we've been working on, and everybody's jazzed. Is this foreshadowing? Chino has also said that the record has an invigorated kind of sound because Deftones haven't been in the studio together since before the pandemic. Damn. Stephen Carpenter shared that the new album sounds like a continuation of Ohms and Koi. That's what I would say. I tell you what, I think when you hear it, like all of our records, you'll hear our sound, you'll hear us, but I think you're going to hear things on this one that you've never heard on any of them. Well, I haven't heard any of them, so I guess that'll be a very interesting experience. I haven't looked at Ohms, I haven't looked at Koi, obviously. Let's get into it then. Let's break the ice, let's see what you guys got for us. Or for me, specifically, because I'm the one listening to this for the video. Private Music. Actually, no, it's all lowercase. It's like my YouTube titles. Private Music. Deftones. August 22nd, 2025. 11 songs, 42 minutes, 29 seconds. Track number 1, the single My Mind is a Mountain. Dun, dun, dun. I've heard this one already, so make that like 4 Deftones songs I've heard before, or 3. Yeah, you sound really calm right now. Patience? Yeah, I mean... Destroying our mental remains in our conscious constant. Yeah, very heavy way to start off the album. You know, it sounds like it has that very Deftones sound in regards to something like My Own Summer. I don't know if My Own Summer is just a very outlier or that is pretty much their sound condensed into one song. I don't know, but either way, it's still a very interesting way to help start off the album, you know, with the very dun 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 and the like elongated vocal performance of Chino. Hopefully it's Chino, not Shino or something like that. I don't know. Negative space is a term in art and designing referring to the space around and or between the subject of an image. Deftones has used it many times in their album and single covers. Let's go! Art mention! I actually had a drawing class and I'm pretty sure this was mentioned in it, but I cannot draw for shit. I freaking hated that class. There was a really good project I did though of like a flower and stuff. It's not related to this at all, but that was probably one of my best, if we're gonna be completely honest, but I don't know where it went. Negative space can also apply to music, where it shows up as a pause in the sounds going on, or as silence. Examples of this throughout Deftones' discography include White Pony's Pink Maggot, which has moments of silence between the instruments before and after the song gets up. The majority of Revere? And Koi no Yokan's Rosemary, specifically the beginning and ending. Chino is saying that we are what we make of ourselves even in negative environments, and that we need to be aware of it before it's too late and endlessly repeat succumbing to the suffering and or maybe the fate of being trapped in our minds, as he says. Maybe this is a reference to mind over matter. Our mind can make us feel as if we have a hill too high to climb, but through our everlasting human willpower of overcoming obstacles through the trials we are constantly tested in life, we realize our full potential. On the other hand, we just want nothing more than to conquer the peak, but only of which can be done with patience and careful planning for the long and tiring route uphill. In other words, when climbing to the top like Deftones has proven, don't get lost up your way to the mountain. Okay, very positive message. I don't know if Deftones or Chino or whoever has had very bad episodes of, you know, being down on his luck, being unfortunate, or mental stability. I don't know the lore between the Deftones. This is probably as blind as we can blind, but okay, a good way to start us off, and a pretty good track. Speaking of being locked up, next track, track 2, Locked Club. Okay, let's see what else is there. We're locked in. Parade? Rising. Closer. We need the truth. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel it draining you? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I said, can you feel it? I said, can you fucking feel it? Strength? True. I don't know how to drum. Wow, a very another heavy guitar track. I mean, what to expect? But it feels like a little like a speech or like a dictator fucking type of shit, or maybe even a cult. I don't know, kind of like that. You know, FOMO's a bitch. Next track though, ecdysis. Ecdysis. What the hell? Hello, bass. We meet again. No. What the fuck you got for me, Def? Tones. Okay, Chino. Brain! Hello, that guitar? God damn. Okay. I know we're only 3 tracks in, and I think it might be too early to make assumptions or guesses about the new sound or direction they're going in, or whatever current, you know, staple Deftone sound that they are currently playing. But yeah, you can definitely tell they like to let a lot of the music breathe in a way. Like sometimes the guitar will just stop for a second, or let the bass play, or let the drum do its thing, while Chino does his very elongated verses or vocal lines. And you know, I mean, that's not like a Deftones only type of thing. Negative space in music has been there since frickin' God knows when. It seems to be a very common characteristic with the band, and that's fine. I do like letting parts breathe, or you know, take a little break in between to start stop kind of stuff too. And yeah, I know we're only 3 tracks in. If I get proven wrong, like in track 5 or 4, I will take it back. But it seems to be that Chino, I don't know if he's done a lot of, I mean, he has done melodic stuff on even Shove It, My Own Summer, but I guess maybe he isn't gonna go super crazy with the screaming. I don't know. Maybe he can still scream it in 2025. I don't know how much wear and tear he has. I don't know. If he just starts screaming the fuck out of my ears, you know, in the next track, I will take back everything I said. But you know, I will be pleasantly surprised. Even still, Chino does seem to have a very good melodic voice. But yes, I don't have a lot to go off of, so let's move on to... Alright, wait, actually, before we move on, How do you even say that word?
Ecdysis.
Ecdysis. Jeez Louise. The term ecdysis comes from ancient Greek ekduo, to take off, strip off. Sweet. In zoology, it means the process of shedding the old skin in reptiles or casting off the outer cuticle in insects and other arthropods. Okay, we saw that. In essence, ecdysis is a process of transformation, and this song appears to talk about transformations and natural disasters in our planet. The plagues we face as humans, the first verse possibly referring to a tornado spiraling, cutting through acreage while we sit and just hope to survive. Whoa, are the deftones, I keep calling them the deftones. I could just say are deftones gonna be commentating about climate change and the environment? Hey, if that's the case, then I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it, dude. I freaking thank God some people are talking about climate change, because my God, that's a very crucial topic, man. And a lot of people are just not liking that. We, human race, are a plague to planet Earth. And these natural disasters are none other than its reclaim. Okay, if that's the case, then yeah. Very interesting outlook on this topic so far. Well, not like a super unique take, but like very heavy way of going through it. And you know what? Good for you guys, Deftones. Good for you guys. Okay, very interesting. Next track though, track 4, Infinite Source. Oh, hello, the transition? The cleanness? I'm down! Crowd! Whoever the guitarist is, dude, he is killing this so far. Close and tight. Uh-oh. Go ahead, don't transition yet. I mean, there's some stuff to talk about here. I mean, the obvious talking point from this song seems to be very reflective of Deftones as a band. It's basically just talking about our final show, what we're gonna do, or we're reaching the end. Of course, you can say it as like, oh, maybe Deftones are thinking or pretty much on their way to retiring or disbanding as a group or riding off into the sunset. So that's probably the most obvious meaning behind this song. Our time is up, or I feel like our time is limited, and what we're gonna do once the final curtain comes. The show is over, the band is over, the music's over. Wondering if it's all, all of it was worth it, chase the love we chased was found. Being very satisfied within their reflections of the band and I guess the success it had, the quality music it had, the amount of people it reached. Or you can also see it in a way it's like they want to keep going. They'd love to play shows over and over again, but I guess either certain circumstances within the world or the environment, if we're gonna go in through that context, is either basically taking that joy of going on forever away, or basically forcing their hand into retirement and not something they want to do on their own merit. I think that might be thinking a little too much into it. Maybe Chinos wanted to be very blunt and direct about it, just saying like, hey, we've been here, we've been in the game for so long, we don't know how much time is left as a band, I don't know how much music I have left in us. This is just letting you know that we may or may not be on our last legs, and hopefully you just enjoy the ride until we go down either in a ball of fire or guns blazing. Maybe there's some other metaphorical meaning that I can't even comprehend at this moment. If so, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, how many artists have you seen start going on retirement tours or last tours ever? Freaking Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace. He just had his final show and then died like a couple days later. That's insane. Not a lot of people get to go out on their own merit. Hopefully Deftones do get that luxury, but hopefully they are still here for a decent while to make good quality music. Retirement in the music industry is a very interesting topic or event to have happen, but you know, people grow old, people die. It just is what it is. And with that being said, I think that's all the thoughts I had for that song. I guess let's see it transition into track 5, Souvenir. It doesn't transition, okay. It's 6 minutes, by the way. I guess we'll say it. Strap in. Is this all Chino's vocals, or does he let other people sing it within the band too? Through space. I mean, it is nighttime already. I hope so. Dude, stargazing? That's lit. It is divine. Let's ride! Shout out to Steelers legend Russell Wilson. Hey, we still got like 2 minutes left. Or... okay, there's still music, okay. It's not just gonna be silence for 2 minutes. I'm trying to sing the Daft Punk song, I'm sorry. Yeah, man, a very hefty song about, you know, traveling through space. Space voyages, exploration, you know. I don't know, maybe it doesn't end that well for the guys here, or for the pair. I mean, it sounds like a very unfortunate love story kind of thing, where, you know, holding each other tightly through the very huge, large mass of space. No matter what, we we push on forward, I guess. We push on forward. Don't know what happens. Don't know what's gonna happen next to us. Might not end well. We might be stuck here forever, but nonetheless, we're together. We die together, I guess. A lot of space talk. Maybe some form of escape, because our planet is dying. I don't know. But thank you, Deftones, for inventing songs about space. You really are the greatest band of all time. All right, next track, CXZ. Oh, I forgot to add it. God damn it. Okay, but these transitions are pretty clean. I can't lie. To give. Deftones gonna be talking about coding. What is there? What is there? What is there? Well, freaking Deftones is a mind warp. It's starting to give down. Lost. Hell yeah, I love being off time. Okay, for a song about constant zeros, you sure do say one a lot. I do love my binary code and my heavy metal. Not heavy metal. Alternative new metal. Yeah. Sick. Banger. Next track, I think about you all the time. Thank you, Deftones. I appreciate that. Yo, Quadeca reference? Okay, I don't think Quadeca's boat was a warship. Out of my... J. Cole reference. Quadeca reference. Attack on Titan reference. On the way. Hello, acoustic guitar. Wave. You know, it's this type of metal, this type of, you know, heavy sounding music. It's a very interesting one because, like, obviously this is on the more balladry side of like a Deftones songs, I'm assuming. Of course, they're still gonna have that heavy guitar strumming in the background. And, like, it's one of that type of genre where, like, the guitar, obviously it's a heavier sound. It's, for what my skewed mind is like, a heavy guitar is supposed to make you, like, either headbang or jump around or whatnot. I think the whole slowness of what Deftones do to curate the distortion in the guitars is, like, it's almost levitating in a way. It's more like the ethereal sound, which I guess that's Deftones. I guess that's part Deftones, if that is a very common occurrence within the band. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you just slow things down so much, it just like becomes almost therapeutic in a way. Because like if you took like some of the slower songs off a Deftones track and you like sped that shit up like a lot, it basically can turn into a fucking thrash metal song, and that's when you'll be headbanging like freaking crazy. Basically, it's just, you know, tempo is a very interesting thing you can do. Who would have guessed, right? Who would have guessed? Shout out to tempo. Next track though, Milk of Madonna. Milk of the Madonna. Okay. Hello. Oh, okay, yep. Here we go. Speaking of which, I'm gonna destroy my headphones. Hold up. Uh-oh. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Oh, hold the fuck up. This is a banger. Hold up. Hold up. The song just started. Oh, okay, Mr. Drummer Man. I'm on fire. Yeah, I'm already adding this shit, dude. That's crazy. We haven't even reached halfway yet. Okay, we definitely reached halfway, but my god. Tonight. Oh, these boys are going high as fuck. I mean, they've been going high as fuck, but holy shit. Oh, we're slowing down. We're slowing down. Okay. Hey, negative space. Let that shit breathe. And we're back. Fire. Spirit. I'm on fire. Holy ghost. I'm on fire. Save him. Fucking save him. Oh, I need to calm down. I just came from the gym. Jesus Christ. Wow, that was 4 minutes of straight, pure kick-ass energy. Golly, okay. They went freaking ham on that one, huh? They went freaking ham on that one. Bloody rain, flood these streets, came falling to the earth. Thunder hangs above me like an eye. Kind of sounds like the, what was it? What was the story? Like the pharaohs and the plague and the whatnot, you know, basically putting revenge on the earth, you know the song, Creeping Death, Metallica. You might not know about that band. Genesis 6:9. Wow, that's unfortunate. The flood of Noah was God's judgment on humanity's wickedness, cleansing the earth with water. Noah's Ark preserved life, symbolizing renewal and God's promise never to destroy the world by flood again. Thunder in the Bible is often a symbol for God's gaze and voice. God's voice thunders in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding. He says to the snow, fall on the earth, and to the rain shower, be a mighty downpour. Job 3756 NIV. Here, fall to the earth and be a mighty downpour also allude to the previous lines of floods, falling to the earth, and bloody rain. These rains, floods, etc. are commandments of his that we cannot understand. He watches us and we know nothing. Hence, the thunder is like an eye. Through the thunder, we are alerted to God's presence who watches us. However, God's thunder is also a sign of his wrath. We run away from these floods and the thunder because we cannot perceive the intent behind them. The eye of God simply looms above us in the form of the thunder that makes us tremble. Okay, we're getting, I mean, the chorus list is Holy Ghost, I'm on fire. Holy Spirit, I'm on fire. A lot of biblical, religious references, Christianity references, God's wrath on the people his people, or commentary on, you know, humanity fucking up the earth and God having to pretty much intervene. Yeah, a lot of religious tones within this track. Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit is the third person of the Trinity, who guides and comforts the believers by John 14:26. I'm on fire on the Bible as shown by Acts 2:3-4. They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit. Save, save, save is a repetition way to emphasize praise or worship, like from Isaiah 6:3. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. In conclusion, Chinomoreno blends together emotional urgency and spiritual fervor, creating a trance-inducing mantra that intensifies in power. With Chinomoreno's distinctive style, whisper-to-scream dynamics, ethereal melodies mixed with cathartic outbursts, vocal delivery holds vulnerability and ferocity. Yep, there we go. That's pretty much Deftones. The focus here isn't on meteorological accuracy. It's on experiencing a divine intercourse, something that cannot be contained and that consumes. With Moreno's voice, these lines become a personal exorcism, a transformative cry, an ecstatic surrender fusing sacred and visceral simultaneously. Holy. My god, what a freaking banger. What a banger. I mean, shit. If humanity, let's say in this situation, if humanity is fucking up the earth, fucking up the people, fucking up God's intent, you know, who's to say that God shouldn't just start over and just send the floods, dude? Send the floods, dude. Sometimes humanity can't be saved. You probably heard people have said that a lot, especially if you're on social media or on the internet, because my god, some people on the internet just do not deserve internet access. Okay. Okay, before we go into that last stretch, these last 3 tracks, I'm gonna get water because I finished my muscle milk like a while ago. Golly, muscle milk is so good. Protein shake, you're out. Water bottle, you're in. I'm on fire. That's so true because it's still summertime and I freaking hate it. Maybe if I went to the beach this summer, but that doesn't seem to be on the plan schedule. All right, cool. Let's see how this last leg handles us. Track 9. Track 9. Cut hands. Welcome back, Beastie Boys. Fuck you, I'm okay, now what? Thanks for the update, dude. Oh yeah, let's go! Chino Scream! Okay, yeah, okay, I take back everything I said previously. What's a stank on it? Ooh. Okay, yeah, I take back everything I said, this boy can still scream. Okay, but this riff is kind of sick. This riff is pretty fun. Whoa, we switch up? Hold up. Switch up? Hack me up. Hack me up. Hack me up. It's so cool. Like, the guitar riffs aren't the most complex or complicated type of guitar playing, but the way it's just exuded is just so they just have a certain groove to it. It's just so nice. It's so sick. Very minimalistic too in a way. Next track though, Metal Dream. This doesn't sound like metal, but hold on, let it shut the fuck up, let it cook. Hey, 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 welcome back, new metal. Yeah, but this is some twisted type of fucking new metal. Hello, what is that? Okay. Dun dun dun. Okay, we'll see. Last track though, Departing the Body. Oh, it's pretty much 6 minutes. We got another hefty one to end us off. Strap in. Hello? Is this no Chino? 2, 1. Did I count too late? I don't know. Your eyes. And this last 20-ish seconds or so, is this all we're left with? Is this little guitar diddle in the background? Somebody added to the rock playlist though, that's kind of sick. And with that being said, wow, the album is done. The album is done. Yeah, a lot of it sounds like the topic of death, or bringing up leaving the body, you know, for your soul to go into the spirit realm, whether it be the afterlife or down under, whatever is whatnot. But I don't know, sometimes when they say like mod or enchanted, it makes me feel like they're like altering their body in a way it's like making them less human, turning it into machine or robot or, you know, artificial intelligence, that kind of thing when it comes to regards to the environment, because there have been very large news stories about how these super centers powering all this artificial intelligence is like practically poisoning waters in certain small town areas, and how it's completely fucking up the environment, especially with all that computer power having to man all of that. And apparently some people have also been saying that the AI bubble might even be popping soon, because like Meta released a bunch of AI related stuff or shutting down their services in there. It's like, what was the point of that then? All these fucking tech billionaires are just investing into shit that they probably can lose a bunch of shit with it because they're fucking billionaires, and it's like investing into shit that is like a fad, and then just leaving low income areas just fucked up. And it's like, man, it's so fucking stupid. These tech billionaires need to be stopped, but I'm not the president anymore, so I'm just a wee little music reviewer. I guess, you know, call your state representatives, but fuck, it's so stupid. But that's what I got with like some mentions of the lyrics, but a lot of this does feel like the end, basically, in the literal sense and in the metaphorical sense and in the spiritual sense. You know, the topic of death, departing the body, the soul leaving the body to go, you know, live its life after life. Yeah. You know, a handful of topics of death and, in a sense, retirement, or, you know, ending the Deftones lineage soon. I guess you can also relate it back to that with Infinite Source. But yeah, what a way to end off the album. Very, very hefty way to end off the album. Very strong way to end off the album. Jeez. But with that being said, that was my first Deftones album. That was Private Music. And wow, what a strong way. What a strong introduction, I'd say. Like I said, I haven't listened to Around the Fur. I haven't listened to White Pony. I haven't listened to any of those old Deftones beginning albums. So I can't say if this is the best Deftones album. I can't even say this has been the best Deftones album in a while, because literally this is my first impression of Deftones. And yeah, it was a very strong first impression. A lot of really good songs, a lot of very slow, methodical, spacey tracks. And by spacey, I mean like there's a lot of room between them, not really like spacey type of sounds, even though there is mentions of space in Souvenir. It's very elongated, whether it be the phrasing of the music, Chino's vocal phrasings, you know, letting instrumentals breathe or not, negative space, something that has been mentioned multiple times throughout this video. Yeah, it's very, very slow, methodical, and, you know, it's not your typical, like, move around, fuck shit up, break shit type of nu metal. But then again, there are a handful of tracks that do fit that certain mold, where They just go fucking ham crazy, ham hog, full cock out, you know, swinging it around, you know, breaking walls and shit. And I do like that variety there. I do like the little pendulum swing of like the slow, methodical ballad, heavy alternative metal, and the fuck it, everything is fucking crazy, you know, fast-ish metal riffs. And the thing is too, is like I said, it feels very minimalistic too. Like the lyrics are very short, a lot of, you know, chord strumming, a lot of that stuff. You know, there are like a few riff licks here and there, but it's I'd say it's very condensed in regards to its music standpoint, because I don't know if I heard a lot of like external instrumentation or whatnot. It seems very tight knit, seems very close to just the band members, the guitars, the drums, the bass, and you know, that's fine. There's no wrong or right way to do that when it comes to, you know, your instrumentation choices, but that's just something that I noticed with Deftones' sound. And there's a lot of things to notice with Deftones' sound that I guess makes them very, you know, that helps them stand out in regards to the alternative nu metal scene. You know, this isn't a lot of this doesn't really scream Limp Bizkit or Linkin Park, even though I'm pretty sure Linkin Park and Deftones definitely have a lot of similarities and, you know, respect with each other. But yeah, very distinct sounds from all three of them. And yeah, I really liked what I heard here. 11 songs, over half an hour, and a lot of it's really good. A lot of it's really freaking good. I don't know if this is the overall, like, consistent messaging that they are trying to portray, but the environment is getting fucked. Climate change is something that, you know, definitely needs to be addressed, but unfortunately, with the world we're in right now and the political climate, the actual climate is pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much in a very harsh predicament. I mean, I've talked to friends who are friends of environmentalists majors, and they're practically just in doom state, which is really saddening to hear. But hopefully there are programs out there are groups that are trying to fight this, trying to, you know, talk to their senators and whatnot, trying to at least start some form of change. Hopefully there is some sort of significant change happening, but you know, we're just getting started with the current administration. Who knows what the fuck's gonna be happening by the time it reaches 2028. Anything can really happen at this point, and that's kind of scary, but it just is what it is. Hopefully you just find a way to, you know, make your situation better and try to make everyone else's situation better, unless you're just actively fucking up the planet just because. And you know, I guess so, man. It's your life, I guess. It's your funeral too, but it's your life. Sorry, I don't know if that got a little preachy there and whatnot. I don't know if that's even the main thing that Deftones want to talk about, but still. I mean, if you want to talk about another thing, you know, possibly ending their music, possibly retiring. Especially with a song like Infinite Source. Deftones have been here since the 80s. You know, there's still a lot of bands from the 80s that are still around today kicking, but maybe Deftones, Chino, maybe they're running out of need or want to continue the Deftones music. Maybe they want to do solo material. Maybe they just don't want to do music altogether. I'm not sure. But it is something that a extremely long tenured band is going to have to brush up upon sooner or later as they get older with age. And yeah, I guess we'll just see from here what happens to Deftones. I don't know if this kind of puts the fan base on notice that, you know, hey, we have a very limited time together, so please make the best of it. Or, you know, it's just them saying, fuck it, we're here for life, man, until they kill us. I don't know. Seems to be the former, but then again, I'm not super deep into Deftones lore and what they want for the future of the band or the future of the planet. But all I can say is that as a guy who has been late to the party multiple times, I will say, hopefully they don't disband soon, because you have just earned a Deftones fan, officially. Let's go. Let's go. You know what, I guess we could just end it there, since I was clapping already too much. With that being said, thank you for watching a Deftones album reaction in the books. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. Watch my other 2025 related albums if you want to. Watch my non-2025 related albums album reaction videos if you want to. Jeez, I haven't made 2025 albums. I haven't made any album, but still, maybe sometime we can go listen to another Deftones album. I don't want to say this is the last you'll see of Deftones, considering how huge some of these albums have been, you know. I can't promise anything anytime soon. It would be nice to do maybe White Pony, since it's been okay. It just released in 2000. Sick. If this is the right year, then it has been around 25 years since it came out, you know. It's been around 30 years since Adrenaline came out. I don't know. A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this album in comparison to these two, but then again, I'm not the biggest Deftones connoisseur at the moment. Definitely these two have been talked about a lot, and you know, hey, if you want to see more Deftones, just let me know. Just let me know. Like I said, can't promise when another Deftones video will be coming out, but hopefully soon, because yeah, I definitely need to get around to listen to these two albums. Hell, for all I know, I might just listen to them on my own merit. It really just depends. It really just depends, okay? But right now, Private Music 2025, another good addition to the 2025 good stuff list, as that couldn't be any more obvious. Yeah, I'm glad. I finally got a Deftones album under my belt. Very exciting stuff. Shout out to Deftones. Shout out to Chino and the gang. And shout out to good music. Shout out to 2025. Alright, cool. Get me to 1,000 subs, please. Shove it, shove it, shove it, shove it.